Hey guys, let's get ready for our full body stretch. All you'll need today is your mat if you're on the hardwood floor. We're going to start by standing towards the front edge of the mat. Feet will be hip distance apart. Allow your arms to hang by the sides of the body. Bend your knees, inhale, arms lift up. Hinge forward, all the way down. Hands to the thighs, flat back, hands to the ground. Bend your knees, roll on up with control. Again, big bend, arms lift. Hinge forward, flat back. Hands to the thighs, lengthen the back, and then bring it down. Bend your knees and roll on up. Just warming up the body here. Big lift, big hinge. Again, flat back. Hands to the ground, then bend the knees, roll up through the spine. And again, arms lift. Reach for it. Hands to the thighs, lengthen the spine, shoulders draw away from the ears, knees bend, roll on up, and stand up tall. Chin to the chest, round forward, hands to the ground, knees bend, heels lift, heels touch the ground, roll on up, stacking your body. Again, round forward, hands to the mat, knees bend, heels lift and lower, and lift with control. Again, roll down, peeling your body off that imaginary wall. Press your heels firmly into the ground. And again, we're going to start today a little bit different. So we're going to work from the bottom to the top. So once we're down there, we're going to start with the toes and then work our way all the way up through the crown of the head. From here, we're going to come sit down and work on those feet. So sit in any comfortable position with your legs extended forward. Legs will be together. I'm going to just kind of lean back here. Just make sure your shoulders are still away from the ears and start to point and flex your feet, alternating feet. Good, and again, really articulate through the foot. Maybe try to open up the toes a bit, stretching out the toes, the arches, and your calves. Point and flex your feet now at the same time. Again, just gentle movement here. Don't force anything that doesn't feel good. And then hold the point of the toes. Start to circle your feet in opposition. So circles away from the body. And then we're going to reverse that circle, pulling the big toes together. Again, allowing the feet to move, your toes to move, and then flex. Open your legs and close from your hips to your heels, just like in bar when we're standing on our feet. Let the movement happen from the hip. Bring them together. Bending the knees, your hands are going to stay behind you. We're going to lift the hips up. Carefully take your toes to the ground like you're pointing and you're rolling on the top of the toe like your toenail. Hold it here and then change. So you can control the stretch. So the closer your hips are to the ground, it's going to feel harder on your toes. We're going to alternate here. Again, curl those toes underneath you like you're wearing point shoes. And then change. Feet come down, hips come down, and let's stand on up. I'm just going to adjust my screen so you guys can see me. So now we're going to go and work on to the calves. Stand with your feet together, one foot steps back. The front knee is bent, the knees in line with your ankles. Extend your arms forward and then wrap them around and up. So we push forward like we're pushing our hands to an imaginary wall. When you push forward, feel your back heel draw down to the ground. So the back calf is what you're stretching. Good. Again, press the wall away and then lift back up. Press. Hold it, straighten the front knee, bend the front knee. Straighten the front knee and press that wall away as you press the back heel firmly into the ground. Getting a nice stretch in your calf. Keep pushing. And then stand up tall. Let's change. Opposite foot comes back. Knee again is bent in line with the ankle. Press your arms forward. Lift them up to the ceiling. Extend forward, out, and then up. Again, press it away and then lift. So the front knee bends as you push the wall away extends as the arms come up. Push and then lift. The harder the push of the heel of the hand and the heel of the foot, the more the stretch of the calf will get. Now straighten your front knee and bend it, pressing that wall away from you. Bend that front knee and extend. Feel the heel draw into your mat. Feel the back of the leg get this nice stretch. Keep pushing. And stand up tall. Round forward, knees bend, heels come up, and we take a seat. So now we're going to work on the knees. So we're traveling up the leg. I'm just going to adjust my screen. Let's lie on one side of your hip. Head comes down into your hand. You're bending your knees. From here, you take your top foot into your hand. I want you to pull your heel in towards your bottom. Opposite leg, you're going to bring that ankle to the side of your knee. Now, pull or push that knee down to the ground with the top foot. So that's what the foot's doing here. I extended my arms. It feels better for my neck to lie there, and feel free to close your eyes. So again here, I'm pulling my heel into the bottom. The leg on the knee is pressing the knee down, and you should feel the stretch on the side of your knee. Hold it here. And then come out. Let's change sides. Again, lying on the hip, the head is in the hand or long on the arm, whatever feels comfortable. Bring the foot to your bottom, knees in line with the hip. Bottom foot comes to the top of the knee, and then I press my heel down into the side of my knee to stretch it. Extend your arm, get comfy, close your eyes, and stretch. Good, keep reaching through that arm, pull that knee down. Just be very careful when you're stretching, not to overstretch. And then unravel. Press yourself on up. Making the screen bigger because we're going to go into the quads and hamstrings next. So let's stand towards the front edge of the mat. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, we hinge forward. Bend at the knees. We step back into a plank. Shoulders over the wrist, and then bring the hips up and back. Let's pedal out the knees. Let the head hang. Let the chest press towards your thighs, heels down towards the ground. And then lift one leg up. Bend at the knee, open up the hip, extend the knee, and then big step forward. My knee's in line with my ankle. I press down with the left hand. Right arm lifts to the ceiling. I'm twisting from my torso, looking up at my thumb. Hand comes down. Press down to lift up the chest even more. Knee draws down, untuck the toe. So we're going to stay here. Feeling the stretch on the left quad. Slowly walk your hands up towards your thighs. You always want to press your hips forward and don't force them down. One arm lifts. We side bend towards the bent knee. Lift up and then place your hands back down. Bend the back knee, bring your foot towards your bottom, and then press the heel towards your bottom with control. You spiral looking over your shoulder. Carefully release the foot, bring the toe down, untuck it, and then bring your hips back. So hamstring stretch, flex your front foot, swing the arm around, hand to the big toe, pulling the big toe towards the crown of the head. Or we go into a split by sliding the front leg forward, back leg back. Hold it here to where you can go. Slowly pull your hip back towards your heel and then walk your hands forward, tuck the toe, and then bring your foot back. Hips go up and back, heels draw down, and then pedal out the knees. Next side, heels draw down, leg lifts. Bend the knee, open up the hip, extend the knee stretch, step your foot forward, knees in line with your ankle. One hand comes down, we twist from the torso, your arm lifts up. The more you press down into the ground, the better. Bend the knee, untuck the toe, lift up the chest, send your hips forward instead of down. This is option 1. Option 2, hands to the thighs. Option 3, lift the arm up in line with the ear. You're going to side bend towards the bent knee. Come to center. Both hands come down. Bring your hips back. Reach for the toe. Toe pulls towards the crown of the head. Option to stay here. Option to slide your heels straight forward into a split. One side may feel different than the other, but we still got to work on that goal. Bring your hip back, nose to the knee. We're going to walk it forward, bend the back knee. Twist from your torso and grab that foot towards your bottom. Look over your shoulder. Again, lifting your chest. Slowly release the foot. You tuck the toe, the knee lifts off. One foot meets the other, hips come up and back, and then pedal it out. Nice job, guys. Heels come down, knees bend and extend. Bend and then extend. Stretch the back of the legs. Bend, press those heels down, chest to the thighs. Roll through the spine and then come onto the hands and knees. From here, we're going to sit facing each other. I'm just going to make this screen a little smaller so you can see me. Here we go. So we're going to sit. We're going to bring one knee over the other. If that is not an option, you can sit like how I was sitting before in a pretzel style. Here we go. We're going to ground ourselves to the ground. Feel those sit bones on your mat. Extend your arms out and then you cross and then you open, cross and open. Continue here, stretching your arms nice and long. Keep lifting out of your lower back. Now hold the cross. You're going to bend at the elbows. Your palms meet. We're going to hold here, pressing the palms and the forearms together. Try not to lift your shoulders. Glide the shoulders down the back as you keep pressing those palms harder to feel stretch in the back of your body between your shoulder blades. Slowly release and then switch the cross of the legs. So even if you're sitting in pretzel, switch those legs. Knees stack, arms open and cross. Open and cross. Let's rotate the palms up this time. Big reach, opening up the front and the back of the body. And then let's hold the cross. Bend at the elbows, palms of the hands come together. Press the hands together, press the elbows together. Keeping the elbows about in line with your sternum here. You don't want to go too high because then the shoulders start to shrug. Release and then bring the hands down to the sides. From here, hand to the head. You're going to tilt the ear towards the shoulder. Opposite hand comes behind your back to keep your chest open. And then we're going to change sides. Hand to the head, hand behind you. Open up the chest as you draw the ear towards the shoulder, feeling the stretch on the side of the neck. And come back to center. Uncross the legs, sit in a comfortable sitting position. So this is option 1. Option 2, you can bring your feet up a little bit higher depending on how your knees feel this morning. Here we go. Arms lift up. We interlace your fingers this time and then elbows are bent. Your elbows are reaching to the sides of the room. Extend your elbows, arms reach up, elbows bend. Reach up, maybe gaze up if that feels good for the neck. Stretch and then bend. Lift out of the back as the arms lift and then lower. Keep pulling your hands apart. Try to get the palms to touch. Keep your elbows straight. Hold it there. We rotate, release your hands, draw your arms down to the ground. Arm is in front of the thigh. You lift up and twist deeper. Gaze follows to stretch out your neck. Ear towards the back shoulder if that feels good. Head comes back up and then turn, lifting the arms up. Arms come down. Arms reaches overhead. We side bend. Lift your body on up. Let's switch the cross of the feet. However we're sitting, we want to change it because it's helping us stretch our knees and stretch our hips. Arms come up, interlace your fingers, palms meet, elbows wide. Extend your arms, look up. Bend your elbows, gaze forward. Again, straighten your elbows, look up, and then bend. Continue to lift out of your lower back. Good, guys. Keep going. Hold it there. We rotate. The arms come down. Hand in front of the thigh. We twist. You're gazing over the shoulder, or draw your ear to the back shoulder to stretch the side of the neck again. Bring the gaze back up. Come to center and release. Nice job. Hands behind the head. Bring your elbows together. We're drawing circles, so it's like your elbows touch and then your wrists touch behind you. So elbows touch and then the tops of the wrist. Elbows, top of the wrist. Continue to sit up nice and tall. Good. Keep circling it out. And then reverse. Wrist touch, elbows touch. Wrist and elbows. Keep going. Gaze forward. Stretch out those shoulders. And then release. Shoulders up and then down. Again, up and then relax. Up and then relax them. Very good. All right. Continuing with our upper body. Bring your hands to the mat. Knees hip distance apart. Round your spine, chin to the chest. Arch your back, lift your sternum and your tailbone. Round your spine, chin towards the chest. Toes together, knees apart. Hips come back towards your heels. Slide your arms out. Bend at the elbows, palms touch. Bring your hands behind the neck. Extend your arms and roll up back to all fours. I round my spine, arch my back, round my spine, toes connect, knees open, hips come down as I extend my arms out. Bend the elbows, fingers touch the back. Extend, roll up to all fours. Again, round, arch, round, toes connect, knees open, hips back, arms slide forward, elbows bend, palms touch, fingertips tap your back. Let's stay there, extend, and then roll back up to all fours. Right arm lifts. Bend at the elbow. See if you can wrap the hand around to touch either a shirt, your thigh, the crease of your hip where the thigh and the hip meets. Extend your arm up. Thread the needle through, ear to the mat, opposite elbow bends. And then come to all fours. Arm lifts. I bend at the elbow, wrap the hand around. Grab anything that you can touch. Press down into the mat as you lift up your chest, spiraling, looking over the shoulder. Unravel, arm lifts. We thread it through, ear to the mat. We're reaching as the opposite elbow bends. And then all fours. From here, toes together, knees apart, walk your hands to the back edge of the mat. Fingertips point back. Lift your hips up. Walk your hands closer towards your heels. Chin is off of your chest into a back bend. Hips are going to come down to the heels. Walk your hands towards the front edge of the mat and come to your forearms. Bringing your hips down towards the mat, we bring your feet to the mat as the hips pull away. So now the more the hips pull away, the bigger the stretch in your hips. Heels towards your bottom, walk on back. Fingertips to the edge of the mat as the hips lift. Hips come down. We walk our hands forward. Heels come down towards the mat as the hips pull away from the mat to stretch the hips. Heels to the bottom. Carefully walk your hands back to the edge of the mat. Lift your hips up. Give me a big arch. Hips to the heels. Walk it forward again. Toes and heels meet. Feet come down as the hips pull away from the mat. Pull your belly button in so your lower back does not collapse. Heels towards your bottom. Press yourself up with control. Hands come to the edge of the mat. Hips lift up again. Gaze up. Give me a big stretch here. Hips come down towards your heels. One hand down, one arm lifts up and overhead. And then change. Hand comes down, opposite arm lifts as you thrust your hips forward, open up the chest. And again, hips come down, arm lifts, gaze back. Continue. Creating space in your back. And again, big reach. Try to go a little bit deeper each time. From here, we're going to come onto the stomach. Untuck the toes, hands towards your shoulders, elbows to your ribs. Float your chest away from the mat and then lower down. So it's 2 counts. We're going to float the chest up for 2 and down for 2. Continue this, reaching through the crown of the head as the legs reach towards the edge of the mat, giving your back a nice stretch. Hold it. Shoulders draw down. And then slowly come down. We're going to make a pillow with our hands, head to the pillow. Bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs from side to side to release your back. Bring the legs back to center. Extend your knees, reaching your legs long. One arm extends. One knee bends. You're planting your foot onto the ground. You're just stretching. Close your eyes. And then come to the belly. Extend the opposite arm. Opposite hand presses into the mat as your foot steps back behind your lying leg. And then come back to the stomach. Carefully push yourself back into a child's pose. Hips on your heels. Extend your arms long. And then we come on up. Let's sit facing each other, extending your legs out so your heels are reaching towards the corners of the mat. Use your fists. You're going to push your body towards the front of the mat, helping you in your straddle split. Hands to the insides of the legs. You're sliding your hands down your legs and then up. So as I'm doing this, I'm not just rubbing my legs, I'm actually pushing them back to open up my hips even more. And every time I do that, I try to send my chest a little bit more forward. So I'm working in this stretch. Hold it. Keep pressing your feet away from you. Push, 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 like someone's pulling your legs out from your hips. And then sit up nice and tall. We side bend, ear to the knee. Gaze on up, opening up the chest. Come back to center. Change sides, ear to the knee. Lift and rotate your chest up slightly towards the ceiling. Come to center. We're going to bring your foot into your inner thigh. You lift and twist your torso, bringing your nose to the knees. If you can touch your foot, maybe rub your toes or the arches of the foot. Extend the spine and then slowly come on up. Let's change. Your foot is inside your thigh, touching. Lift your arms up, twist, bring your nose to the knee, fold forward. Again, only going as far forward as you can. You can reach for your toes, give them some love. And then slowly come on up, extending your legs again. We're sitting up nice and tall. Start to walk your hands towards me, bringing your chest towards the ground. You're just like hinging from your hips. And then walk your fingertips back in towards your legs. You bend your knees to bring your legs together, and then we're going to sit in a comfortable position. Sitting up nice and tall, draw the chin towards the chest, and then lift up the gaze. Again, chin towards the chest, and then lift. So again, today's format was a little bit different. We started from the bottom up. Now we're just going to end with a little bit more love for the neck, since we're carrying a lot of stress and tension in there. We're just going to let that all go. From here, gaze side to side. Stop at the center. Make sure you're nice and lifted. Working on the range of motion here. Ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder lift. Change directions each time. And up, continue. Feeling each part of the neck, get a nice little stretch. And now let's do little semicircles, half circles from side to side, ear to shoulder, letting the head be nice and heavy. Bring your chin to center, lift up your gaze, interlace your fingers, press your palms towards the screen. Lift your arms all the way up and back carefully, and then release. Take your hands behind you, interlace them, press the palms together, start to lift your arms to the ceiling as you bring your nose towards the ground. Release your fingertips here, stretch your arms out in front of you. Walk your hands into your lap, roll up through the spine, heads up last, and you guys are all set. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I love hearing what you guys are doing at home, so keep tagging us at Kaya New York, hashtag Kaya Strong. See you guys soon.